Welcome everyone to the 12th and final quiz in the league stage of the ProQuizzin League Battle of the Youth. We've seen 6 teams go at each other hammer and tongs for the last 11 episodes, and now it's time to find out who's going to finish top of the table. Which are the 4 teams who will go into the Super Cup to decide the grand winner for the tournament? This one is on Mythology and Folklore, and I'm joined once again by Shomunai Banerjee. Shomunai, all set for the final countdown?
Oh yes, I mean after 11 quizzes over and there has been no clear-cut winner in the league, my goodness, it has all been down to the wire. And of course, not to forget that there has been a little bit of tug-of-war going on in the mid-table as well.
Exactly.
Because teams really need to enter the top 4.
All right, the league table as it stands right now shows the Kolkata Wizards and the Bengaluru Aces both on 45 points. And they look pretty secure to get into the top 4. Remains to be seen who finishes top of the table. Then we've got the Delhi Brainiacs on 40 points. You've got the Ahmedabad Intellects on 37 points, the Chennai Erudites on 36, and the Mumbai Geeks on 34. All right. You've got a chance for Ahmedabad, Delhi and Chennai to really rustle up the top 4. I don't think it's going to be possible mathematically for the Mumbai Geeks to make it, unless of course, well no actually it is, unless of course if the Intellects and the Erudites finish with just a couple of points apiece and the Mumbai Geeks win today's quiz, we might see that. And if the Chennai Erudites of course pull off a big victory today, they go straight into the top 4. Anything can happen. Let's not waste times in ifs and buts. Ifs and buts are but myth and folklore. Let's get to the real thing. Let's see the 6 people upon whom all eyes are going to be in this episode. Arnab Mondal representing the Delhi Brainiacs, Vishayon Bhattacharya representing the Kolkata Wizards, Adarsh Mohapatra representing the Mumbai Geeks, Girish Suranje for the Bengaluru Aces, Shayon Mozumdar, a new face in the 12th episode representing the Chennai Erudites, and Akash Patil, another new face representing the home team for the final episode of the league stage, the Ahmedabad Intellects. Let's not waste time. Shomunai, a quick overview of the rules of round 1, please.
Yes, round 1 for the final time in the league, of course, is the Knives Out. 3 clues per question. Each team gets 1 direct question, 150, 150 in the 3 clues respectively. Of course, this round doesn't pass. But of course, the 2x cards, as you can see, makes an entry in the first round, and also we'll get to see in the 3rd round. Let's take a look at if the teams here can make judicious use of that. For the moment, we will take a look at the order in which the home team will tell us they would want this quiz to go.
All right. The home team today, as we have pointed out, are the Ahmedabad Intellects, and they've chosen to go last clockwise. So we're going to go the Brainiacs, the Wizards, the Geeks, the Aces, the Erudites, and then the Intellects. All right. Without further ado, let's find out. Are teams going to be bold and daring, or are they going to play it safe and steady? Any number of strategies possible. Let's find out which team adopts which strategy. We're ready with round 1, question 1. This one goes to the Delhi Brainiacs. Coming up on screen now. The myth partly arose from the dust veil of 536 CE, which devastated Scandinavia.
Okay, I'm doubling. Okay, so I'm saying this is the Fimbulwinter that happens before Ragnarok in Norse mythology. Like the entire process.
Can you believe it? He's gone for a double on the very first question. We were just discussing, Shomunai, whether they'll go for sure and steady or bold. Look at that, 115 to 300 points. Ragnarok it is.
Oh my goodness. All right. 300 points in the first question. I think we're seeing for the first time in the league and in the 12th episode. All right. What are the chances? Although, look at the smile in his face. But nonetheless, we take a look at the 2 clues for him. To the Vikings, it referred to a cataclysmic clash, translating to doom of the divine powers. It re-entered pop culture by the appearance of the first female Marvel villain and an obese version of a chiseled Aussie. So of course, all referring to Thor Ragnarok at that point in time. Arnab smiles, comfortable. Delhi goes a little more comfortable and steady. We will take a look at Kolkata Wizards' first clue.
All pressure on the other 5 teams already. A Sufi saint prominent in South Asia. One of my names translates to red bridegroom. Arnab sitting pretty and comfortable. He's thrown down a challenge.
Wait, I'll say Lal Shahbaz Kalandar.
Kolkata Wizards say Lal Shahbaz Kalendar, and they've got 150 points. Wow. So this really is a high stakes game and people are going all out for it. The pressure is just growing more and more, Shobhan. Let's take a look at the other two clues.
Yes, I have a white flowing beard and I ride the Hilsa, also known as Palla, in these areas, of course, in the Sindh region. My legend has been popularized by the works of Bulle Shah, the voices of Runa Laila and Abida Parveen, and marketing gimmicks of a PSL team, that is, of course, the Lahore Qalandars. Brilliant, brilliant answer from the two teams here. The third question, the first clue for the Mumbai gigs on the screen, here it comes.
All right. Born to Kashyap Prajapati, the grandson of Brahma, this name is not given to any particular asur, but 60,000 of them. Adarsh Mahapatra, of course, one of the brilliant young minds in this competition and across the country.
I'll say Shukracharya.
He goes for Shukracharya. Incorrect. We move to a 100-point clue. Sometimes they fought under the leadership of Vratrasur and other times under other Asur leaders. But when Agastya set out to capture them, they hid themselves in the ocean.
Jalandhar.
Jalandhar, he says. No, that's the wrong answer. For 50 points. Namesake of a savage barbarian tribe who speak the Kiliki language. So very clear hint there, and he's caught on to that hint. But I don't think he can get the name. Yeah, you can tell from his expression. It's there, but he just can't grasp it. You have to feel for him.
No, I'll pass.
Right, he passes this. Let's take a look at the answer, Shamanai. The Kiliki, of course, is a reference to Bahubali, and this is Kalakeya.
Yeah, the Kalkeya indeed. Adarsh, of course, is one of the finest players ever to have played the ProQuizzin League Battle of the Youth. He's also scored 1,600 points in a single episode, but just a bad start for him. Literally feel for him nonetheless. He remains one of our most valuable prized quizzers. Nonetheless, we move to the Bengaluru Aces. Bengaluru would really love to open their account and go ahead. Kolkata has a slight edge, as we can see. Let's see the first clue for Bengaluru Aces.
King John was granted a royal charter to register the city as a borough and needed a unique seal, so he chose me.
I guess Britannia.
Britannia comes the first guess, incorrect, for 100 points now to Girish. Accompanied by my feathered female friend with a wingspan of 24 feet, I never stand alone during my silent vigil.
Okay, next hint.
Now for 50 points, normally represented as a cormorant, I live in the hearts of Scousers with Elan. Scousers, of course, is a hint to a geographical area, if you can catch on to that. All right, it's time for the answer. 0 points. This is the liverbird Shomunai. Turned out to be a bit too tough for Girish.
Yeah, you had all the clues there, lots of geographical clues anyway. Nonetheless, difficult time for Girish, it seems. We move to the Chennai erudites, represented by Shayan Majumdar here. Let's take a look at the first clue for Shayan. Based on Dalit folklore, I am an alliteratively named theatrical dance performed during harvest festivals, marriages, and fairs. So, of course, a two-word answer.
I'll guess Kumar.
Kumar says wrong.
Not the Kumar. Dhruv, let's take a look at the second clue.
But there are two legends related to my origin. One of them being Shiv's Tandav, and the other is marriage as per the Brahma Vaivarth Puran. I think he had some clue with the first clue. Looks more confused now.
Yeah.
All right, he's gone for 50 points. Performed in parts of West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha, and Chhattisgarh, I am an integral part of Shanthali subaltern cultures.
Is it Chow?
He goes for Chow. This also gets to 0 points for the team. Okay, let's take a look at the answer. Natwa Nritya or Natwa Nach.
Yeah, all right. Part of our subculture, part of our heritage, part of our folklore. We to celebrate all these things.
All right, first clue for the intellects. Originally, I was worshipped as two separate gods, one of them being the god who created the universe.
Is it Vishwakarma?
He goes for a guess at once. He says Vishwakarma. Incorrect. For 100 points now. My boat traveled across the sky by day and through the world of the dead by night. Perhaps he got the culture wrong, the civilization wrong.
Okay, next hint.
He goes for the 50-pointer. To ancient Egyptians, I am a giver of life because I control the harvest. So if he wasn't thinking of Egypt, this will be a bit of a shocker for him. He's going to restart thinking again. Let's see if he can come up with a guess.
Horus?
Horus, he comes up with a guess. This is not Horus. Let's take a look at the answer. It's Ra, probably the first Egyptian god we all hear about, Shamunai.
Of course, the reference was to Amun-Ra, the two gods that originally was. Okay, yes, that was probably one of the easier questions of the quiz. Nonetheless, at the end of first round group, I don't think we have much trouble to do, but we'll take a look at the scores.
My goodness, what a round it's been. Look at the start we had. We started off with a double on the very first clue of the first question, 300 for the Brainiacs. The Wizards matched that without the double, 150, and then you had 4 zeros. But it's almost as if fate is telling us we're giving you a scorecard this skewed only because we've got a lot of surprises and ups and downs for you. If that's the case, we're in for a humdinger. Let's get straight to round 2, Shamunai. A quick overview of the rules.
Yeah, round 2, as usual, is lock and load. This is where the game changes. 6 questions clockwise, 1 direct for each team as usual. Differential passing, which means a direct question fetches the team 100 points if they're correct, but per pass, the question adds 50 points to its kitty. So the 6th team can potentially rake in 350 points. This round can change the quiz that has happened so far. There is no double card in this round, but nonetheless, we will start with the Delhi Brainiacs. Let's take a look at the first question for the Brainiacs.
All right. In the Mahabharata, he comes for Rajasuya Yagya of Yudhishthir, where he says he'll touch Krishna's feet, but not Yudhishthir's because he's a mere human. Krishna touches Yudhishthir's feet, referring to him as his elder brother. It's only then that the visitor bows to Yudhishthir. So which king was this? Okay. The Brainiacs with a chance to take their score to 400. If they don't, there's a chance for the other 14 to really come in.
I'm guessing, is this Balaram?
He says Balram. All right. Passes to the Wizards for 150. A chance to equalize.
I'll say Shishupal.
He says Shishupal, no. And now it moves to the 4 teams on 0. This is with the Geeks for 200.
It's a Virat.
Virat, wrong. 250 points to the Aces. Do we have a guess from Girish?
I'll guess I'll pass.
Passes 300 points with the erudites.
Okay, I'll guess, is it Vibhishana? Is it Vibhishana? Ravana's brother, Vibhishana.
Okay, Shayon says.
I heard the story because Vibhishana did not believe, means he would go only to Ram, and then Krishna showed him his true form.
What a moment. Look at that for an answer. The other teams are clapping as well. They should. That's a brilliant answer, Shaman. Vibhishan. Where did he pull that out from?
Chennai Erudites back into the game in no time with that. As I said, the scoreboard is getting interesting. There's no such thing as comfortable lead. Nonetheless, we take a look at Vishayan's direct now. For the Kolkata Wizards, the second question
All right, this is getting exciting. Let's take a look at the question. Which mysterious creatures are most of us familiar with via an 1837 folktale named Den Lille Havfro and its Disney film version? Lille or Lear? There's been no dearth of French and German pronunciations. We've done our best. Do forgive the gaffes. Bisha not focused on the pronunciation, more focused on the answer.
Yeah, okay. So I'll say these are the 7 dwarfs of Snow White.
7 dwarfs. No. 150 points. Chance for the geeks to open their account.
I'll say Sphinx.
Not Sphinx. 200 points now with the aces. Thinking hard, Girish.
I'll guess goblins.
Not goblins. 250 points with the erudites.
Okay, I'll guess, are these mermaids? The Little Mermaid, the story.
You don't need the answer slide. You just need to look at the reactions of the other teams, banging their heads, clutching their hair. Wow, look at that. Look at the quality and the finesse of quizzing there from Shayan Mojumdar. Debut quiz, and I have no words for this guy. Brilliant.
And yes, can you believe that, Dhruv? Well, 2 questions, 550 points. You would have probably gone a little like Donald Trump and said, stop the count, but we are far from over. Lots of quizzing left. For now, we go to Adarsh Kumar Mahapatra for the Mumbai Geeks. Let's see if Adarsh can open his account.
All right. Adarsh with the direct now. 100 points at stake. At the beginning of the previous century, when archaeologists were excavating the tomb of Ur, they found a layer of clay that split 2 distinct cultures. Which remarkable catastrophe, recounted in other cultures as well, was proved to be true thus? You will not want to let this go.
I'll say the Great Flood.
He says the Great Flood, and he gets 100 points for the geeks. They're up and running. The erudites clapping. They know they were ready to snaffle that up, of course. All right. Girish Suranj and the aces with their direct now. Let's take a look at question 4. All right. Girish is locked and loaded. The name of lachesis comes from a Greek word which means to obtain from lots. In that sense, one can understand that their destiny is chosen out of a myriad possibilities. Which exclusive list of 3 is lachesis the second of?
Okay, I'll guess this is from the Pandora's box.
He says Pandora's box. He stays on 0. It passes to the erudites.
Okay, I'll guess she is the second of the 3 fates.
This round is let's just call it the Chennai erudites round. Brilliant. Another 150 points taken by Shayan Mojumdar. Superb, Shamunai.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely. Now he actually gets a chance to go on to 800 from here. Let's see what fate has in store for him.
All right. Well, maybe it's the law of averages. He specializes in others' questions, not on his own, but you wouldn't bet on it. First, direct question for Shayan. One morning, a hunter took his 2 wives fishing. Despite knowing it was taboo to kill the sacred black stingray, he sent his spear plunging towards the ceremonial fish. Once attacked, the black stingray beat its wing-like fins, causing a storm. The trio survived by hurling huge rocks into the sea. Following this pacification of the Pacific, what was created? We had a little mythological story in a question, and the question simply is, what was created?
I'm guessing, is it the Great Barrier Reef? Since hurling rocks into the sea. Just a guess, not sure.
He shouldn't be saying is it. He just knows it is. 800 points as predicted, Shamunai. The Great Barrier Reef. Wow.
My goodness. Okay. Last and final question of the round, going to Akash Patil. All right. Akash seems to be ready. Let's take a look at his direct question.
Which supernatural entity's tragedy was mourned about in a 1963 film called The Curse of the Crying Woman, and more recently in the 6th film from the Conjuring universe? You have to feel for them. There's a lot of pressure. It's the last quiz. 2 teams on 0. Everyone turning towards them. Some egging them on, some hoping they mess up. Unenviable, but then again, that is, of course, the joy of quizzing. To be in moments like this. Let's see what the intellects come up with as a guess.
I don't have a guess.
All right, passes. This goes
La Llorona, the weeping woman.
La Llorona, the weeping woman. The Delhi Brainiacs have the final say in this round. Oh, I have to catch my breath, Ramona. This has just been an incredible 2 rounds of quizzing.
Yeah, well, no catching breath there because you have to tell us the scores as it stands. We are halfway through.
All right, if the Brainiacs stole our breath away in the first round, the second round has been all about the Chennai erudites. Look at that, 800 points on the back of 3 fantastic past answers and, of course, their own. And the Brainiacs, of course, finishing the round well with 450 points. The Wizards on 150, the Geeks on 100, the Aces and the Intellects still on 0. Long way to go to catch up with the erudites. And if the erudites continue their form, there's no catching them. Now, Shamanai, I really do need to catch a breath, as indeed do the teams. This is, of course, the big one. This is going to decide the top 4. Let's take a strategic timeout for episode 12 and see you after exactly 2 minutes. All right, we're back with the last 2 rounds of the 12th quiz. This one is on myth and folklore. Huge moments in the first 2 rounds. Let's see what the third round brings. Let's take a look at the overview. Quickly, Shamanai.
Absolutely. The round 3 pauses don't shoot the messenger. 6 2-tire questions, 1 direct for each team. As you know by now that the first tire is essentially a visual only question. It comes up with a clue if the team wants. So this is for a direct, they get a plus 200. If they want to take a clue, they get a plus 100. But the question passes for a flat 100 points in an order which the home team will tell us. This round also has the 2x cards returning. Let's see if that can change the way the quiz has taken thus far.
All right, it's time to welcome our celebrity guest for round 3 in quiz number 12. Let's say hello to Shomen Shengupto, writer, traveler, photographer, and overall heritage enthusiast. And he's sending us 6 questions on video. And the first question is for Akash Patil and the Ahmedabad Intellects. A chance to go from 0 to 200 over here.
The first question that is appearing on your screen, just watch the figure very carefully and tell me, who is this linguist and health nut? Identify him.
Okay, who is this linguist and health nut seen here in his avatar as Adi Shesh? So lots of clues as to how to focus their guesses.
I'll go for the clue.
Okay, he goes for 100 points. Clue coming up on screen now. A Siddhar in the Tamil Shaivite tradition, his name has offered a lot of leaves of checkbooks to the once penniless son of Gulabo Devi and R.N. Yadav. The clue looks to have confused him more than enlightened him. Let's see if we can pull through that and come up with this. He passes.
Is it Tirupati?
Tirupati, wrong answer. Passes to the Aces.
I'll guess Panini.
Panini also wrong. Passes to Adarsh and the Geeks.
Dhanvantari.
Dhanvantari wrong. Passes to the Wizards now. Still 100 points.
I'll say Patanjali.
And finally, we have the answer. The Wizards move to 250 points with Patanjali.
Yes, of course, and that was a reference to Baba Ramdev, the clue. All right, so Vishan getting 250, Girish yet to open. This is kind of getting interesting for the overall league standing. Now we will take a look at the second question for Shayan Mojumdar.
This is a dance drama from Kerala. It's a traditional dance drama based on mythology, where the battle of good and bad is being illustrated. and it is a battle against the demon Darika. The question is, this gentleman who is appearing on the screen in the dance drama, what character he is playing here?
All right. Seen here is a ritual dance drama from Kerala based on a good old tale of a battle between good and evil demon, with the foe being the demon Darik. What gender-bending role is being essayed here by this gentleman?
I'll go for the clue.
He goes for a clue worth 100 points now. She's also known to have inspired one of the most recognizable symbols of rock and roll.
Okay, I'm sure now. This is Kali.
He's sure now, and he gets a sure shot 100 points. Kali, where of course the Rolling Stone symbol. 900 points now for the edited Shamunai.
Yes, just double in terms of the nearest rival. Nonetheless, well, Girish has a chance to really open his account now. He would really like it. Let's take a look at Girish's question.
This question is, you can see there is a railway station in Bihar. The question is, if you alight in this railway station, you actually arrive at a birthplace of a person who was not only a great warrior of history, he was also a great religion exponent. The question is, whose birthplace is this?
The final entry in an exhaustive list before being replaced by an eternal entity, his martial prowess was jotted down in the Epistle of Victory. Whose birthplace can one visit if someone alights at this station?
Sorry, I'll go for a double.
He's going for a double.
Guru Gobind Singh.
He comes on the pitch, he goes over long on, and he smacks it for a 6. 400 points for the Aces. What a relief. You can see it on his face.
One question and he's back in the game. Well, Mumbai Gits and Adarsh Kumar Mohapatra. Let's see his direct.
This is from a temple complex of Rajasthan. Identify this temple complex.
All right. Contrary to common assumptions, the structure's name is not a portmanteau that holds a special significance to the Minister of Textiles as of June 2021. Which temple complex in Rajasthan is this?
I'll take a hint.
He goes for a hint. It's for 100 points. The appellation is so named because of Vishnu's 1,000 arms.
Sasbao Temple.
And now he gets it right. He realizes he could have gone for the 200. The Sasbao Temple Complex, Ramanai.
Yeah, and it takes its name from Sahasrabahu and nothing to do with Smriti Irani here. Yeah, all right. We'll take a look at Vishan's direct now. The Wizards have to pull off a sorcery to get past the Aces. Let's take a look at his question.
Here we can see Amitav and Mahesh Babu are exchanging an award. This is an award given by Andhra Pradesh government. This is the highest recognition in cinema in Andhra Pradesh. The question is, after whom this particular award is named? You have to name the mythological character after whom this particular award is named.
All right, this is the highest recognition given to actors and technicians by the Andhra Pradesh government. Which anthropomorphic creature lends his name to this award given here to Mahesh Babu? So an evergreen legend handing an award to a modern legend. Which anthropomorphic creature lends
I'll take a clue.
to this award? All right, Bishayan goes for a clue for 100 points. This brilliant bovine was an offspring of Kashyap and Kamdhenu.
I'll say Surabhi.
He goes for Surabhi. Wrong. Passes to the Brainiacs for 100.
Is this Nandi?
This is indeed Nandi. Bishan, I think, knew that. He just didn't go for it. Misses 100 points.
Yep, this is the Nandi Awards. Well, now this is direct to the Brainiacs. The last and final question of the celebrity round. Let's hear it from Mr. Sengupta.
Yeah, the statue which you can see, the deity that you can see on the screen, very naturally, this is from the Tibetan Buddhist mythology. And you see the Buddha, what we can see here, Buddha is holding a weapon in his hand. The question is, name the weapon that this Tibetan Buddha is holding in his hand.
All right, so for 200 points, extensively employed in Tibetan Buddhist ceremonies, with which divine weapon does this ritual object that the Buddha is holding share its name?
Can I have the image please zoomed in, because all right, they're sharing its name. I think the keyboard. Can I double before I go for a clue? Is that allowed? Yeah, okay, doubling.
All right, he's gone for a clue. Time for the second clue for 100 points. In Sanskrit, it means both thunderbolt and diamond.
Oh, Vajrapani. Vajrapani from Vajra. Doubling and Vajrapani from Vajra. Yeah.
He somehow manages to throw in a double there. Gets 200 points, but he could have got 400 and gone into the lead, I guess. Oh, well, what an end to this round as well, Shaman.
Quite a drama. All right. Nonetheless, at the end of 3 rounds, let's take a look at the scores.
All right, we're going into the final round with the erudites still in the lead on 900. But now the Brainiacs are very close behind, just 150 points away at 750. We've got the Aces with that brilliant double on 400, the Wizards on 250, the Geeks on 200, and the Intellects on 0. They'll want to make an impact in the last round. All right, let's take a quick overview of the rules of round 4.
Yes, the final frontier has never been this literal for the teams here. All right, round 4, 6 questions anti-clockwise, which means we'll start with the intellects, 1 direct for each team. But just like round 2, it is a differential round, which means it can really impact on the score lines as it stands. A direct question will face them 100 points, but the score gets heavier with each pass. So let's see if we see an encore of the second round, but we'll start with the intellects. Intellects would really love to open their account. Let's take a look at Akash's question, who's representing the Ahmedabad Intellects.
I think if he just relaxes a little, he'd be in a better position to answer it. He looks really tense, and it's understandable. All right. Connect these 3 to a prince who renounced it all to become the penultimate Ford maker.
Is it Prince Siddharth?
He goes for Siddharth. It's incorrect. Now for 150 points to the erudites. Passes to the relief of the others, the aces.
For lack of a better guess, I'll say Harish Chandra.
Harish Chandra, no points. 250 points with the geeks.
I'll say Rishabh Dev.
Rishabh Dev, no. 300 with the wizards.
I'll say Mahavira.
Mahavira is wrong. Passes to the Brainiacs. 350 points.
I'll say penultimate Ford maker. Balram. I'll go for Balram.
And this question passes through all the 6 teams. Let's take a look at the answer and the connect, Shamunai.
Yes, of course. We had the first code maker, if I may say. We had the 24th code maker as the case, but not the 23rd or the penultimate one.
Adinath.
Let's take a look at the answer. Teams are still guessing. This is Parshvanath, right? Parshvanath of the 23rd Tirthankara in Jainism. All right, teams really trusted it. It seems happens to the best of us. That was, of course, Sheshnag, Shikarji Temple, and Touchstone, all referring to, all connecting to Parshvanath, the 23rd of the 24 Tirthankaras of Jainism. Okay, so this is a direct for Shayan, standing on 900. Let's take a look at his question.
All right, unusually, not three separate images, just one image with various elements, a result of a curse by Durvasha.
I'll say this is the Samudra Manthan. These things came up. Uchchashavas, then Halahal, which sheep drank.
He really knows his myth and folklore, and he takes his team to 1,000 points. Beautiful quizzing there by Shayan Majumdar and the Chennai erudites.
Perfect. What an answer to bring home his team 1,000 points. Of course, Uchchashavas, the Panchajanya Conch, Kaustav Muni, Vishnu's Sharanbo, and Chandra, all were products of Samudra Manthan. This was the direct to Shayan. Let's take a look at Girish's connect question. Girish standing on 400. He would love to increase his lead over Vishal. Let's take a look at his connect questions.
Shape-shifting beings of flame and air believed to be the first entities created on Earth. Connect with these three. The Delhi brainiacs smiling widely, they know the answer. They don't know if it's going to come to them. Just look at the 6 photos there. Just look at that. 6,000 words, 6 pictures.
I'll pass.
It passes.
These are jinns or genies.
150 points on offer, 150 points gratefully snapped up by the Mumbai Geeks. These are the jinns, of course.
Yeah, perfect. And that is, of course, Robin Williams, American Gods, and this is Janna, from which is, of course, one of the etymological origins of jinns. Others slapping it up like there's no tomorrow. Let's see if he gets his direct question now. The connect question coming up for the Mumbai Geeks.
All right, ravenous flesh eaters who were probably named by Bedouins after an Akkadian demon. This direct 100.
Tokyo Ghoul, that's how I know. And they are ravenous flesh eaters.
All right, the Mumbai Geeks doing well in this round. The Ghoul. Let's take a look at the connect, Shamunai.
Yes, Adarsh explained the Tokyo Ghoul connection anyway. So this was, of course, Iblis, which is referred to be one of the source of the term Ghoul, and that is, of course, Ghoul anyway. So all, which was probably one of the easier ones of this round, Adarsh slapping it with remarkable ease. He's an excellent quizzer, of course. We now move for the penultimate question, but before that, we will take a look at the scores.
All right, as it stands, if the Brainiacs somehow manage to get both these answers right, they will equal the erudites. Barring that, this is going to be a huge victory for the Chennai erudites. The Brainiacs are on 750, 450 for the Mumbai Geeks. They move into 3rd place, just behind the Aces, who are on 400, Wizards 5th with 250, and the Ahmedabad Intellects with a chance to get some points in the last 2 questions if it passes to them. Otherwise, they will remain on 0. All right, everything to play for. It comes down to the last 2 questions. It's on the shoulders of the Kolkata Wizards. Question 5 coming up on your screen now. Animated anthropomorphic being in Jewish folklore created entirely from inanimate matter.
Vishal not really in the top form of his game. He's, of course, a remarkable quizzer nonetheless.
I will say Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin is incorrect. All right, with the Brainiacs now, 150
This is
points.
the Golem.
Smiles and takes 150 points, and it is right. This is the Golem. Kamana, is this going to go down literally to the last question?
Indeed, you see. All right. But before that, it was, of course, Donny, the Beerjew Donowitz. Of course, Donny Donowitz was named the Beerjew. It's often called Golem. That's the monolith. That is, of course, a literal view of Golem, and that is the Frankenstein's monster, all connecting to Golem, the concept from Jewish folklore. Look at the smile at Arnav's face. He knows he can catch up to Shayan. The final question, if he gets it right, he would move up to 1,000 and have a tie in the pole position. Else, he would come second and he would take home 5 points to the Delhi Brilliance. Let's take a look at the last and final connect coming up on the screen now.
As simple as that. Who comes next? We've seen some unusual forms of connect questions in this round as compared to the other quizzes. Here's another one. Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Shailya. All the pressure now.
Okay.
I'll go for Shakuni.
Shakuni, all right. So it's going to be won by the erudites, but can the intellects get some points here? 150 on offer.
Vasudev.
Not Vasudev, passes to the erudites.
Okay, I'll say this is Ashwathama, the commander-in-chief of the Kauravas for the 18 days.
That deserves a standing ovation. This has been one of the finest quizzing performances of all the 12 quizzes I've seen, I have to say. Let's quickly look at the connect. Ashwathama.
Yes, so they were all the commander-in-chiefs of the Kaurava army, as correctly answered by Shayan Majumdar, who happens to be the commander-in-chief of the Chennai Erudites army for this particular quiz. He had really something to pull up on his shoulder, but he does that with an absolute cool and calm. He's an excellent wizard and he proves his shine. It's the last question, so it's almost like one of the arrows that Chennai Erudites had in their quivers to unleash Shayan Majumdar in the last and final quiz to bring home the necessary 6 points that would essentially lead them to the top 4. Let's take a look at the final scores.
All right, it's not been a good day for the home team. The Ahmedabad Intellects finish the league stage with 0 points from today's quiz. It does happen. Can't be too harsh on them. It's much easier said than done. At the point at which you're sitting and representing a franchisee, you do get nervous. Sometimes the best answers don't come to you, the tough ones do. Nevertheless, with 250 points in 5th place, the Kolkata Wizards. With 400 points in 4th place, the Bengaluru Aces. With 450 points, the Mumbai Geeks. With 900 points, very good answers at the beginning, at the end, throughout, the Delhi Brainiacs. Unfortunately, nothing was good enough to dislodge Shayan Majumdar and the Chennai Erudites tonight. 1,200 points. It's only fitting that we end the league stage with another 1,000 score, and it's going to be one to remember. All right, what does this mean for the points taken from today's quiz? Shabana, let's take a quick look.
Yes, of course. Goes without saying that Ahmedabad Intellects having a really rough day. I can literally feel him, but he gets 1 point nonetheless. Bengaluru Aces got 3 points, but a very all-important 3 points. They got only one answer correct in the entire quiz. That was a double, and a very judicious use of the double cup. Chennai Erudites finishing on 6 points, 1,200 scores. Unbelievable stuff from the Erudites. Delhi Brainiacs finishing second on 900 points. It was very, very close with Erudites at one point of time, but the Erudites had the last laugh. Kolkata Wizards have to be content with 2 points. They have scored 250 points because in the end of the match 12. Bishan is, of course, a very, very good quizzer. Otherwise, it's just that this was not his day. Mumbai Geeks, 450 points means they have scored 4 points and bring home 4 points to the Geeks. What does it mean for the overall standing, Dhruv?
All right, it's time to find out the 4 teams who will play in the final quiz of the ProQuizzin League Battle of the Youth. First of all, the 2 teams who haven't made it with 38 points apiece, the Ahmedabad Intellects and the Mumbai Geeks, didn't have a great day out today, weren't able to push the envelope, so they remained on 38. On the back of that masterful performance, the Chennai Erudites sneak into 4th place with 42 points. With 45 points, again with a brilliant performance today, the Delhi Brainiacs in 3rd place. The top 2 have been pretty much unchanged through the course of the past 12 episodes. The Kolkata Wizards finish 2nd with 47 points. And with 48 points, the Bengaluru Aces finish as the winners of the league stage in the ProQuizzin League Battle of the Youth. So we're going to see the Aces, the Wizards, the Brainiacs, and the Erudites face off in the grand final, which we're calling the Super Cup. The rules will be slightly different there. When that episode comes, we'll explain those rules to you. For now, let's just salute all the brilliant quizzers who've been a part of this competition. Over 12 episodes, some of them have come back again and again. Some of them have had just one chance, and they've done fantastically well. We've had beautiful moments, agonizing moments, moments of sheer brilliance, moments of complete brain fades, as befits a proper quizzing tournament. And now it's down to the Super Cup to decide who is going to hold their nerve and be crowned Grand Champion. We'll see you for the 13th and final quiz, the Super Cup. Take care, stay safe everyone. Shaman Banerjee and Dhruv Mukherjee saying tata.